Alright guys, I am live. Welcome in. This is Hanging Out with Dave, episode 61. This is a little live stream I do every week here. Just kind of hang out with me. We do Q&A, basically. We talk tech. And now we'll kind of go down through and answer the comments and questions that have been left on the videos for the past week. This week's a little different. We got 2 weeks worth. Last week I had to cancel the stream because of unforeseen stuff going on. But I'm back this week, and hopefully it's going to be a pretty good show this week. There's a few disclaimers I throw out at the beginning of each show. Number one, I do drink cold Budweiser while I do the show. I do enjoy me an alcoholic beverage, so cheers to y'all. I hope y'all well on this Saturday. Number two, I am a truck driver by trade. So you may hear a cuss word or a wordy word or a dirty word from time to time. I try to keep it to a minimum, but it does happen from time to time. I want to apologize for it. You know, if the drinking or the cussing don't bother you, if it bothers you too bad, maybe this ain't the right stream for you. Names, I'm not very good with the English language. So when it comes to these YouTube handles, you know, these YouTube names, I try to pronounce them the best I can. So I may butcher your names, which I don't mean to. I try not to. You know, I try to do the best I can, but it does happen. And when it comes to overclocking, because I do quite a few overclocking videos on the channel, try to show you how to get the best performance out of your components, basically. You know, and I get a lot of questions that, I don't know if I got any this week, but I get a lot of questions, you know, hey, I got these components, you know, what should I get out of? What should I set the settings to? And for them kind of comments, you know, it's kind of hard for me to answer, even if I had the exact same ports that you have. I don't mean they're going to overclock the exact same, you know, yours may overclock better than mine with less voltage. You may have to bump up your voltage to get yours up to what I run mine at. You know, even if they're the exact same ports, you know, it varies. You know, that's the funness of the overclocking experience, is to see what you can push your components to within what you have. So there is that one. I think that's going to pretty well wrap it up for the disclaimers, I think. I want to thank y'all, you know, for the guys that come in and watch my videos. You know, I want to thank y'all for the ones that leave comments, the ones that like, share, you know. Quite a few of you come in every week and watch my videos, even though it really ain't something that concerns you. But apparently you like my content that I put out, so I want to thank y'all. I used to say something like this in between each comment, but it gets awful repetitive, so I do it now, and then I do it at the end. But I do appreciate all the support you guys give me. If you can't tell, I am still a smaller YouTuber, so all that little stuff still means a lot to me, and I want to show my appreciation to you guys for it. I do try to help everybody that I can, as much as I can. Just my nature. And once we get done through all the questions, comments, and concerns, you know, we'll talk a little bit about what's coming up on the channel, what's already planned coming up on the channel, some stuff that will be coming up on the channel. You know, I got a few questions for you guys. You know, I like to have a little bit of feedback towards the end of it here on a few things that I'm kind of kicking my brain over. But you know, we'll get into all that there at the end of it there. So let's flip you guys over here, I guess, and we'll start with these comments and questions. Like I said, you know, this is 2 weeks. This is 2 weeks worth, so we may be here a little while today. But that's all right. I got time today. I hope I do, anyways. Let's get rid of this self-promotion stuff. That's enough of that. We'll flip you guys over here to the questions and comments. Let's see here. There we go. Down here at the bottom. I don't know why these things saying 1 week ago, because it should have been longer than 1 week ago. We have Remesh, I guess we pronounce that, or EMS CH 1 week ago on how to overclock your RAM on the Gigabyte B450M DS3H motherboard. He says, "Oh my God, thank you so much. You're the best." So I guess I helped you overclock that RAM. I'm glad you found useful information in that. I'm glad you enjoyed the video. MT Coiner. He came in on the Cougar MG120-G gaming computer build for 2020-2021. He says, "Nice, you basically built my PC, except mine is the 3600X, Sapphire Pulse 5600 XT, and Steel Legend B450M. Pretty smooth running rig. Honestly, more power than I make use of. I'm sure I will upgrade anyways, even though I'll never use the extra power." Yeah, that seems to be a pretty common thing. A lot of people end up upgrading even though they don't need it. I know I do it a lot. Basically, mine's for the channel, for the YouTube channel. But a lot of people do that. Aspen Dixon, oh my, Dave, you are finally lost the cap. Yeah. I took the cap off this week. I actually got this week's video coming up. I don't have the cap on. Next week's video, when I do the intro and the outro, I'll probably lose the cap as well. I'm trying it, see if it helps a little bit. I don't know, which I'll get into a little bit more of that towards the end and why I decided to do that. But yeah, I'm going to try it without the cap for a while and see what happens. I feel naked without it. I've wore one most of my life. But yeah, I'm capless. I mean, don't worry, it ain't too far away. It's right there. But on the video for this week coming up, and today I'm trying without the cap. I'm trying to change a little bit of stuff here on the channel. Not too much, but a little bit. And there's reasons behind that. But yeah, I lost the cap. At least for right now. Like I say, I do feel naked without it. And again, the next one here says 1 week ago, it was Maxter 1878, which should have been 2 weeks ago. It was on episode 60, Hanging with Dave. He says, "Sorry, Dave, was working. Hopefully to catch you next time. Take care." I realize that, you know, Saturday mornings ain't the best for doing live streams because a lot of people, you know, it's the only days they have off, or people's working overtime to try to pay the bills and whatnot. So I understand if you guys can't make it in every week. You know, it's just Saturday mornings is what works best for me and my time frame. You know, my fiance is working on Saturday morning, so it's kind of the best time for me, which I've had people ask me to change the time of it, but that really ain't possible because of my scheduling and whatnot. Hope you all understand that. And I understand on my end, you know, if you guys can't make it in, I understand that as well. You know, like I said, Saturdays, a lot of people use that for family time because they're not working, or people's working overtime trying to make the bills, or you know, whatever. And there's times that I got to cancel, just like last week. I had to cancel last week, which I'll get into that towards the end here too after Q&A. But, and I haven't done it much. You know, this is episode 61, and I think of 3 times I think I've actually missed a Saturday morning. I'm doing pretty good for myself, I think. I've been doing it for quite a while, so I understand if you guys can't make it every week. Who else do we got here? We have Prod CV, I guess, Prod CV. The Gigabyte Radeon RX 5600 XT WindForce graphics card benchmarks. What settings did you run Fortnite at for the benchmark? Fortnite, I always do it like most people do. You know, I run competitive settings, which is ultra distance and everything else on low. That's the way I was running them settings for Fortnite in that video. That's the way I run it because that's the way a lot of people play it. You know, to give you somewhat of an idea of what the card performs like, you know, you need to use the settings that most people run that. So yeah, I was using the competitive settings on that benchmark. Sebastian Carter. On the last time I did a live show here. Sorry I missed you again, dude. Hope to catch you soon. Well, I hope you can catch me soon too, bud. I'd like to see you in chat there. What else do we got here? We have KMZX Tool. How to install RGB lights and fans in a computer. I wish I watched this video a few weeks ago. Great stuff. I have all 5-volt ARGB accessories, fans, but my motherboard only has a 12-volt header on it. I'm surprised more companies don't make converters like the Deep Cool one. Seems like an untapped market these days. Thanks for making the informative video. Yeah, as far as I know, that converter box that I bought for that, it is a Deep Cool branded. That's the only one that I could actually find that would actually do that for me. I couldn't find any other ones, just that one. Which, if you're getting into the newer motherboards and whatnot, you know, a lot of them come with an ARGB and RGB header on it. Which, you know, mine's a X470 motherboard. But, you know, it kind of surprised me mine don't have an ARGB header on it, but I found out this morning, working on a video, that mine's actually got a Type-C USB connector on it. Kind of surprised me. As far as being an untapped market, I think companies are missing out on that. Especially for people that's on a budget and whatnot, you know, trying to save a buck by buying used or whatnot. You know, you're buying B350 motherboards or X370 motherboards. You know, a lot of them only got the 12 volt, not the 5 volt. But yeah, that Deep Cool box is the only one I could find to do that for me. And I ran across it just by doing an Amazon search for it. Let's see here. We have Sebastian Galdron. How to update the BIOS on the Gigabyte B450 motherboard BIOS for Ryzen 3000. He says, thanks. Hey, you're welcome. I'm glad I could help you get that BIOS updated on that. We have Drake Oren. How to overclock your RAM on the Gigabyte B450M DS3H. It was a little hard to see what you were doing in the BIOS, but I did manage to turn on the XMP. Yeah, that was one of my older videos, which that one's doing real good for the channel. But it's one of my older videos. I didn't have the equipment I got today, so you know, of course, videos get better with the better equipment that you can afford to get as time goes on. So yeah, I've had complaints on that. It was kind of hard to see, and my voice wasn't very strong in it. You know, I should have turned up my voice a little bit more. But I'm glad I could help you get that RAM overclocked, at least get that XMP turned on. Top 10 everything 1 week ago. How to overclock your Ryzen 7 2700 with AMD Ryzen Master software. Man, I might have got a dud R7 2700. I can't even get 4 gigahertz stable at 1.4 volts. Edited mine also passed the 4.1 at 1.35 volts with Ryzen Master stress test, but it crashes when tested on Cinebench R23. Yeah, that the stress test that they give you is that Ryzen Master uses is very short. So if you run anything more extensive than what the few seconds that those run, it will, you know, and that's why even once you test your overclocks, you need to use the machine like you normally do to make sure it's a stable overclock. A Ryzen 7 2700 can't even get to 4.0 stable. I had to run stock at that point. CMU 24, I have 1.4 safe for a Ryzen 5 3600 for 4.2 gigahertz, question mark. 1.4, you're good. AMD Ryzen AMD themselves actually says you can go up to 1.45 volts. So if you're getting a stable overclock on the 3600 for 4.2 gigahertz at 1.4 volts, you're good. Depending on the motherboard and how good of a capacitor it's got on it, but sounds like it's pretty good overclock on that one. Especially if that's an all-core. I hope it won't damage. I don't think it will. And why I say that, a lot of motherboards, whenever they come out of the box, they'll literally hit 1.46, 1.7, 1.47 volts straight out of the box. I mean, the motherboard manufacturers, the BIOSes, will literally push more voltage than what AMD even recognizes. So yeah, with the X570 Urus Pro, I know it's overkill. It's mine. It's MT Coiner, $10. Rock on, Dave. Hope you are well. Hope you're well, buddy. Thank you for the donation. Appreciate that. If you got the X570 Urus Pro Elite or Urus Elite, you should be fine running 1.4 volts on that 3600. And you did say that the motherboard's a little overkill for the CPU, which yeah, it is, but of course you got a good motherboard there, so you got a lot of upgrade potential in that motherboard as well. I mean, the X570, you should have no problem even dropping a Ryzen 9 5000 series in that motherboard and do good. But I think you're alright to run 1.4 volts on or something like that. You're welcome. Like I said, Ryzen even recommended you can go up to 1.45 volts. A lot of the motherboards out of the box will push more than that. Maybe I ought to do a video on that. But actually, I've showed it a few times in some of my videos how they push the voltage up so high straight out of the box without having to change anything. How's MT doing today? Appreciate the donation, buddy. Means a lot to me. I'll take a drink on that one. I hope the weekend's doing you all well. What we got here? The Ryzen 7 2700 done did that one. Best local deals I can find is a 1050 Ti for 150. Hard to flip PCs right now. Yeah, it is. Right now, it really ain't the time to be doing any flips unless you've already got them built or you got extra components laying around to actually sell. I mean, to find ports right now for any kind of flipping for PCs is almost, I mean, even if you go to eBay, if you go to, OfferUp, you go to, which my area, I live in a small college town, outside of a small college town, but it's hard to find used components in my local area. But with the way, everybody knows that there's high demand. So, even people that's got computer components and wanting top dollar out of their used stuff, it's hard to do any kind of flips right now to make any kind of money off of them. That's why I haven't really been doing any videos, on the channel. I've got a few of them that I've built off of eBay ports and whatnot. But that was back at the end of 2019, maybe the beginning of 2020. Before the prices really bottomed out. Actually, I'm not even really sure when the videos went up. But, since the beginning of 2020, computer components, it started out with the power supply shortages. Hard to get power supplies, paying way too much for the power supplies. And then NVMe drives started going up a little bit in price, which they've came back down, luckily. But right now, if you're wanting CPUs, GPUs, you're pretty well just SOL. You're pretty well, you just ain't going to find them. And to flip them, and of course, if you're flipping, building a PC and flipping, you need to advertise as a used computer. So, and I don't know, there's a lot of people out there that watch YouTube, that watch channels like mine that shows you how to build a computer and whatnot. So everybody thinks they're a professional at it. And they don't think that they should pay pay you anything for your knowledge for knowing how to build a computer. I've ran across that here quite often. Why would I pay you $100 over what you pay for the parts if I know how to build my own computer? Because you watch YouTube, don't exactly mean that you know what you're doing yet. But somebody like that, they really ain't looking for a computer to buy off of somebody. If you know how to build your own, why are you even looking one for sale? But yeah, right now it's definitely hard to try to do any kind of flipping on computer components. Like I said, unless you got components laying around that you could build with, that you bought at a decent price. Basically got everything but GPU. Just can't find them. I remember in the 2019 wondering if I should buy a bunch of cards while prices were low. 2019 you could get decent prices on cards. I actually have a X470 graphics card. I think it's an RX 470, 570. Laying back there in the box on the shelf, but I actually bought it because it was an old mining card, which it don't come with a gaming BIOS on it. I tried flashing the BIOS and still having issues with it. I paid $80 for it or something. It was at the end of the last mining craze there in 2019, 2018. Need to pull it out and see what I can actually do with it. Which, I don't know, maybe I'll make for an interesting video. I don't know, but one of these days I'll get it pulled out there. But yeah, of course, with everything that's happened in the computer components, nobody would have ever imagined parts going up like they have. Even if you do find them, you're paying 2 to 3 times as much for them. Even through your basic retailers, even Amazon, Newegg, if you look at what they have in stock and what they're selling for compared to what they were selling for a year ago, they're adding 20, 30 bucks for the same exact components. Of course, that's just supply and demand. They got the supply, they got a little bit of supply, and the demand's still high. They know they can charge more for the parts. So yeah, flipping computer right now is a little crazy. Rock on. It's $10 clock here, and India, going to sleep now. Keep happy with your stream. Thank you, who is that? Marv. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Enjoy your nap. I hope you sleep well. Thank you for hanging out with me as long as you could. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm naive. But yeah, definitely right now ain't no time to be flipping PCs if you don't have the parts already bought. Let's see, what else do we got? We got the Tomato. Well, that's a hell of a name for a YouTube channel, ain't it? How to overclock your RAM on the Gigabyte B450. Thank you. I was running at 2144, and I was like, what? Bought 3200, but thanks to you, I changed it. I'm glad I could help you get that RAM overclocked. We have Smooth Chatter, or Smooth Cheater, I guess the way you pronounce that. How to overclock your RAM on the Gigabyte B450M DS3H motherboard. He says, thanks, bro. You're welcome, bro. I'm glad I could help you get that RAM overclocked. TS Channel. How to overclock the Ryzen 7 2700 with the AMD Ryzen processor, or AMD Ryzen Master. I have exactly the same PC specs. Yeah, that was nice. That was a pretty stable build for me. The only reason I actually got rid of the 2700 is because I got into 4K video editing. Which that 2700 was doing it, but the Ryzen 9 that I got now is much better at it. But actually, I still have that 2700 laying back there in the box someplace. Let's see, a TS Channel again. How to overclock your Ryzen 7 2700 on the same video. Okay, 4.1 gigahertz at 1.35 volts. Copy that. On the 2700, 4.1 at 1.35 volts. Pretty good overclock, not too bad. We have Menorah Salos, I guess. How to overclock your Ryzen 5 2400 on the Gigabyte B450M DS3H port 3, which was never meant to be a 3-port video, but it ended up being a 3-port video. I have a Ryzen AMD 3400G. Can this work? 3400G, I was using the 2400G in that one. Exact same processor, a little bit faster speeds out of the box. Basically, same processor. A little bit, like I said, a little bit better speeds, but yeah, you can overclock your 3400G just like I did that 2400G. Joseph Calipes, how to overclock your RAM on the Gigabyte B450M DS3H motherboard. I upgraded my RAM to 32 gigs and it crashed on my computer into a boot loop. This fixed the problem. Thanks. You're welcome. I'm glad I could help you with that. I'm glad that whatever you got out of that video that helps you stop that boot loop helped you. We have Adam Crisp 4 days ago. How to install the 280mm AIO and the fractional design Vocus G case. I have a 240 radiator. Would this fit better? Yes. If you haven't watched that video, at 280 I had to do a little bit of modification to the 5¼ inch base at the top to actually get that 280 to fit. 240 will fit in there much better. So MT Coiner, my local GameStop had a 1660 Super for sale for $229. I tried to buy it, but they couldn't find it. They were selling for close to $400 online. Yeah, that ain't a bad deal for a 1660 Super. I've actually been looking at some graphics cards, trying to get my hands on some for some budget builds for the channel, but I haven't been able to find anything. GameStop Strong. Yep, Gear. Dave, how do I overclock my RAM on a B460M DS3H? B460M? If I ain't mistaken, that's an Intel board for being a B460. Should be pretty well the same thing. Being an Intel board like that, your XMP should work a lot better than what it does on Ryzen systems. Let's make sure that's a Intel board, but I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, it's for 10th gen Intel. Yeah, that's for an Intel chip. Your XMP should work pretty easily on the motherboard. You should just be able to get into the BIOS and turn on your XMP profile. Because Intel ain't as finicky about the RAM support as what AMD Ryzen is. I don't have one of them boards on hand. I was actually thinking about doing an Intel build because I haven't done one in 3 years since Ryzen's launched, really. But like I said, it is an Intel board, and Intel don't actually benefit as much from RAM overclocking as what Ryzen does. But yeah, you should be able to just get in your BIOS, and it should have right on the front of the, when you first get into your BIOS, it should have XMP profile on and off. You should be able to just click it on, and you should be pretty good to go with an Intel system. If I'm not mistaken, there was a question about that, and I think that was you. Somebody else was asking about that motherboard. No, Wars Moon was asking about the B460 MDS3H. Maybe if, like I said, right now Intel chips is pretty available. Maybe I'll pick up that motherboard and a CPU and see what I can do with it to get a video out on that. What kind of processor are you running, Gear? Depending on the chip you got, B460, I believe that's a locked. You have to go to a Z motherboard to be able to do any kind of overclocking. You have the 10400F. I mean, it is kind of what it is with Intel. You know, you got a locked processor. Your motherboard don't support overclocking, so you can't overclock your CPU. Maybe overclock your GPU. Use MSI Afterburner or something like that to maybe overclock your GPU. Depending on the RAM that you're running, which that's what you're kind of asking about, how to overclock your RAM on that motherboard. I mean, kind of with the Intel chip that ain't overclockable, you know, it is what it is. You know, if you're running, as long as you're running a SATA SSD, there really ain't much hope for you, really. And that's one thing that really bites about Intel. A lot of those chips are still locked. You still, you know, you got to spend several $100 on their motherboards to be able to get an unlocked motherboard to be able to do any kind of overclocking. Which then you have to have a K chip for your overclocking. You know, they ain't quite as flexible as what Ryzen is as far as getting the most out of your system. Turning on XMP profile would probably do you a little bit of good, but like I said, they ain't dependent on their RAM speed like AMD Ryzen is. If you're running an SSD, there really ain't much hope for it. I mean, it is what it is. Overclock your GPU, get you a little bit better frame rates. But with an Intel, you're kind of locked at their mercy because, you know, they ain't overclockable. Can't do your CPU. That's about all you really got. It's overclocking GPU, CPU, or your RAM. And your RAM, you know, you should be able to turn on XMP. Use something like Afterburner from MSI for your GPU overclocking. Your CPU and motherboard both are locked. So you're kind of pretty well stuck with the performance of the system the way it is. But the only way you could really get more out of it would be to upgrade. You know, get you a Z motherboard with a K chip, but you know, you're talking big money by doing that. Hope that kind of helps you a little bit. Kind of feel like I'm leaving you hanging on that one, but there really ain't a whole lot more you can do with that system. Let's see, Adam Crisp, I done answered his. Let's flip you guys back over here. Now for looking at my pretty mug. We have Kanana the Builder. I wonder if they're in relation to Bob the Builder. Yeah, I understand. Thanks anyways. Now you're welcome. I wonder if it's any relation to Bob the Builder. How to build a gaming PC in the Fractal Design Focus G 2019. How does the optical drive work? Does it come with one? Whoa, optical drive. Boy, I haven't answered one of them on the channel before. That case does not come with an optical drive. It does have 2 slots to install them. You reach inside, there's 2 little clips on each place for the optical drive. Push them together, slide them out. You will have to buy an optical drive, which last time I priced them, you're looking at 15, 20 bucks for an optical drive. Not a whole lot of people use optical drives, but you can still pick them up as far as I know. like I say, 15, 20 bucks. If you're going to put an optical drive in, remember they slide in from the front. They don't go in from the inside. You go literally put them in from the front of the case in. Usually have 4 screws that you can put into them, which is optional, depending on how much you move your computer. I recommend at least 2 screws in it, just to kind of hold it in place. You'll have to run a SATA power cable to it, and a SATA data cable, just like you would a hard drive or SSD, 2.5 inch SSD. And it should just start working for you at that point. So I hope that kind of helps you. I don't know who exactly uses optical drives, but yeah, I guess apparently there's a few people out there that use them. Yep. BNJ4 Cougar MG120 gaming computer case unboxing and overview. Excellent case, brother. Recommended. That is a pretty nice little case. I still have the system built in it. I'm going to do some more testing in it while I got it still put together. Some more content coming up on that build, actually. That's one of the things I want to wait till the end here, and we're going to try to want some more opinions on what I want to do with that system. What else do we got? We got NK 2 days ago. That was on the AK Racing Core Series EX gaming chair unboxing and assembly. 1805. That's pretty interesting. I saw some reports about how all the cheap chairs, $100 to $200, usually have all been built in the same place in a China factory. Well, when it comes to the economics and function, I got no problem with the cheaper chairs, but they just can't hold my weight for long. And the way I tend to sit, I guess sometimes I like to sit on one of my legs, and that puts extra pressure on the setting area. So yeah, I took notice of the company that doesn't use rebranded stuff and gives you some crazy warranty on parts of the chair. Thanks for the video. Well, you're welcome for the video. Yeah, that's one thing, you know, at 1805 is where I start talking about the warranty, and the company actually building everything in-house. They just don't contact the chair manufacturer and say, hey, this is what we want in the chairs, throw a brand on it, you know. AK Racing actually builds all the products, you know. They build everything here in the U.S., which is nice, you know, but I like it that they don't outsource that. You know, they ain't just contacting a chair manufacturer saying, hey, this is what we want, slap a brand on it, and we're going to sell it. You know, they actually manufacture everything that goes into the chairs. I kind of like that. I like the warranty aspect of it. I can't find any other chair that gives you a 5-year warranty on the chair and 10-year warranty on the frame like they do. You know, so to me, that's worth the extra $100 or so. Like I said, you know, if you watch the video, you know, it ain't budget. There's nothing cheap about these. I mean, but they do seem to be holding up pretty well. And that warranty, you know, I mean, to me, that warranty means a lot. That means they stand behind the products. You know, I like the idea that they ain't a rebranded chair. Let's see here, Sebastian Carter again on the AK Racing Core Series EX gaming chair. Nice, stay safe, my friend. Well, thank you, appreciate that. I try to stay safe as I can anyway. Who else do we got here? Menard Carter, I guess we pronounce that, however clock you're in on the B450M. Thank you so much, man. PC always crashes with blue screens of death from using XMP profile, from changing settings. PC now stable at 2933 megahertz was the sweet spot. Thanks again. You're welcome. I'm glad I could help you get that RAM running better than the 2133 it comes out of the box. Well, that's what most DDR4 runs out outside of the box. Who else do we got here? We have Korea Spintel Mov, I guess we pronounce that. How to clock your RAM on the B550 MDS3H motherboard. I can't change it to profile 1. Help. It does not show XMP disabled and easy mode menu. 2. I didn't show the store logo beside it. 2. It doesn't show me extreme memory profile. Depending on the RAM kit you got, which it's hard to find, but you can still buy unoverclockable RAM, and it sounds like that may be what the issue is. Because your motherboard actually reads the XMP off of the motherboard. Or, yeah, your motherboard actually reads the XMP off the memory modules. That's what I meant to say. Either got a bad set of RAM, depending on the RAM kit you got, or it's just non-overclockable RAM, which, like I said, it is still possible that you can still buy RAM that ain't overclockable. Either that, or maybe you got bad RAM slots on your motherboard. Try the other slots on your motherboard. That'd be my best suggestions to at least start with. Hopefully that gives you a decent starting point. Who else do we got here? We have Wars Moon, and he came back with 2 of them. I haven't XMP mode, and cancel charge. I'm looking 2i 2600 megahertz. I am looking for 2660 megahertz. I've put times 2 8x8 gigabytes in a B460 MDS3H. BIOS Mojo F5C. Can you help me? Self. I can't change manually. Sorry for I'm in France. That's the B460 MDS3H, which Gear was asking about there earlier. I don't have much experience with that motherboard. Like I said, that is an Intel system. That is an Intel motherboard. It's kind of hard to, and not having the motherboard on hand, not being able to test it, not being able to see what's actually going on. Intel's usually pretty good about offering you XMP profile. It's kind of strange that your RAM ain't giving you that option, or the motherboard ain't giving you that option. Patriot's actually a decent manufacturer of memory. So without actually having the system or seeing what's going on with it or trying different RAM in it, you know, it's kind of hard for me to say one way or the other. I don't know. That's 2 people that's asked about that motherboard. Maybe I should try to pick one up. Let's see here. Is it even available in the U.S.? Is my question. LG 1200. We'll save it. Maybe I'll pick one of them motherboards up. Wow, $122 for DS3H. Man, you're paying Intel tax. But anyways, maybe I'll pick one of them up and a cheaper Intel processor do build out one to see what's going on with these B460Ms. That is the second person that's asked about it. And right now I have a feeling a lot of people that's building is probably going to Intel, just due to the fact that they can't get a Ryzen processor. Who else do we got here? We have Thomas Azara. How to overclock your Ryzen 5 2400G on the Gigabyte B450M DS3H port 3. It says, thank you, brother. Well, you're welcome, brother. I'm glad I could help you get that processor overclocked. Who else do we got here? We got MBDA. How to overclock your RAM on the Gigabyte B450M DS3H motherboard. He says, thank you, sir. Love from India. Well, you're welcome. I'm glad you found the video. I'm glad you watched the video. And it sounds like I helped you out on that. So that makes me happy knowing that I helped you out on that. Looks like that's it for this week. We'll hit the refresh and make sure. That's about all we've had for the last 2 weeks. Held for review, nothing in held. So yeah, that's going to pretty well do for the questions and comments. Or at least the comments that have been left on the videos. If you guys have any questions that's live, you want me to answer them, you know, throw them over there in chat. I'll be more than happy to answer them the best that I can with the information that I am given. Last week's show. We'll talk about that now, I guess. I did cancel last week. I didn't do last week's live show. Bad David. David shouldn't have done that. I was actually out a customer's house building his gaming PC. He wanted me to do it at his place instead of him bringing the components to me. We actually talked about me filming it, but when he said he wanted to do it at his place, I didn't want to pack up all my camera equipment and everything to go over and film it. Filming adds a lot of time to the build process. But I guess he won't shoot me too bad. I ain't going to mention his name. But I will show you what I built with. It is a pretty high-end gaming system. Well, it will be a pretty high-end gaming system. He was actually lucky enough to get a Ryzen 9 5900X for his system, but he couldn't find the 3080, which is what he's wanting. But he was taking his 2060 that he had in his old system just to use for now until he can get the 3080. I'm gonna flip you over here and show you the ports list that he had here. Starting out, he had the Ryzen 9 5900X. He put in the Corsair iQH150i Elite Capellix liquid cooler, which that is a 360 cooler. He also had the Asus ROG's Crosshair 8 Hero Wi-Fi motherboard. Like I said, this guy didn't have no problem spending a little bit of money on this build. He had G-Skills Triton Z Royal 32 gigs, and yes, he wanted all the RAM slots filled in with the RGB for the looks. This was a beauty build. So he went with the 4 sticks of 8 gigs each. The Triton Z. There was a few of these ports that I kind of questioned, but this is what he went with. This is what he wanted. For the storage, he had the Western Digital Blue 4 terabyte, 3.5 inch, 5400 RPM hard drive. I said to go with 7200. He was happy with the 5400 speeds. Which I don't know, but that's what he wanted. It's his build, you know. I build with the ports that they provide or what they want me to build with. So, yeah, there was that. He also had the Crucial P2 1 terabyte M.2 NVMe solid state drive he put in it. Which that one there was his boot drive. That's what we put his operating system on. He also had the Western Digital Black SN850 1 terabyte solid state drive. Not too sure on why he went with that one or why he even added it, but he added it. And yeah, it is what it is. The graphics card he pulled over, like I said, you know, this is just a tie over till the 3080 is available. He's got the Zotac GeForce RTX 2066 gig video card. That's what he's running right now until he can get the 3080. which we pulled that out of his old system. He is rocking the Fantex Eclipse P500A ATX mid-tire case. That's what we put it all in. He went with the EVGA Supernova 1000G Plus, which is a great power supply, but it came from overseas, and it actually ended up with the wrong power cord in the box. We had to use the power cord off of his old system to even get it to boot up. So yeah, there is that. He went with two more. He went with four 140 millimeter fans, which them are the same thing that comes on his cooler. So he had a total of 7 fans in his system with all the RGBs, and everybody knows how I love RGBs. The monitor he picked up was the Dell 27-inch 1440p 165 hertz monitor, which I talked to him since I did the build last week for him, and he's actually went back to a 1080p monitor because that 2060, it has a hard time pushing that 1440p. So he went back to the 1080p monitor that he had until he can get his 3080. And he added these covers right here, which is an RGB, cable kit for the 24 pin, and the I think they went over the 24 pin and the GPU, I believe, or maybe I don't know, there was 2 sets of them. I think it was for the 24 pin and the RGB, or the ARGB for the GPU, I think, or maybe it's the 8 pin power connector, but that's what he bought. Like I said, it was a complete beauty build. Of course, it's his money. He spends it the way he wants it. But that's kind of the parts that I was putting together last weekend. That's why I canceled last week's show. I met up with him at his place about 7 a.m. Saturday morning. I was expecting, 3 to 4 hours to get this computer build done. And I asked him a couple of times, hey, how do you want the radiator put? How do you want the hoses ran? Because how them hoses run depends on how you got the radiator set inside the case. I think there was 2, maybe 3 different ways we attempted to put the radiator in before he was happy. Of course, he didn't spare no expense. He wanted the bling. So, and my job as a tech to build a computer is to make the customer happy. We tried 2 or 3 different ways of putting the radiator in until he was happy with the results, with the way it looked. So it took me about 8 hours to put that system together. Also, he used that X570 motherboard and needed a BIOS update. You've heard me say in the beginning of a lot of my build videos, doing out of the box test. Put it all together on one side of the motherboard box. Put all your components inside your motherboard on top of the box, test to make sure everything works. We actually did that with his system to update the BIOS. I don't know if I didn't download the BIOS correctly or whatnot, because that motherboard does have the BIOS flashback feature to it. Maybe I didn't rename it right or something, but we couldn't get it to work. Which I also took the Ryzen 3600 out of the Cougar build that I had to be able to update that BIOS with. We had to put that processor in, update the BIOS, put his in, make sure it worked right, and all that before we could even start the build, which took some extra time. The placement of the radiator, like I said, every time you take that radiator out, you got to take the fans off, you got to flip them around, you got to put it back in. That takes extra time. But, it was a paying customer, and I hated to cancel last week's live stream, but, you know, it is what it is. I try not to cancel unless I write down have to. That was one of them situations to where I didn't have much of a choice. You know, I wasn't going to do the live stream from his place. I didn't have my computer. I didn't have the setup to be able to do the live stream last week. So I hope y'all forgive me. I hope y'all ain't too mad at me for missing last week. Like I said, this is episode 61, which is a weekly live show. And I think that's only like the third time that I've missed. So, anyways, it's kind of what happened to last week's. What happened to last week's show. Let's see here. This week coming up on the channel. What do we got? We have the Corsair 4000D Airflow PC case unboxing and overview. If you follow me on Instagram or Twitter, you've seen the photo of that case go up when it came in. I got the unboxing and overview of it coming up this week on the channel. Next week, it's actually my system's actually sitting over here, half put together or 3/4 of the way put together. Because I am putting my system in that case. You can see the mess behind me actually. Got some porcelain over there. Got some porcelain over there. Tripod still set up where I was recording it and whatnot. So yeah, I still have the side panels off of it. Still got the face covers off of it. I did get my system back up and operational for the live stream today. I still got to do, I haven't even hooked up the ARGB lighting in it yet. I did hook up the fans where I can at least get airflow through the case. I'm planning on finishing that up hopefully this afternoon or tomorrow. But that'll be the following week's video, not this week's video. I got a couple laptops over there that came in that needs Windows 10 reinstalled on. So I'm one to need to get them done. I don't know if I have anything on the channel about them. I mean, it's just taking personal information off of a hard drive, wiping a hard drive, and reinstalling Windows 10. You know, but yeah, I got that happening. I need to get them done up. But anyways, it was mentioned earlier when I first started streaming. Aspen Dixon, he noticed that I don't have my ball cap on. I lost my ball cap. Next week's video, I don't have my ball cap on. What I've done to my PC is for the build process, because I still have to do the intro and the outro to that one. For doing the build in that case, I'm not going to have my ball cap on. Like I said, I'm naked without my ball cap. You know, I am a country boy. You know, I was raised on a personal farm when I was young. My ball cap was just part of my everyday life. You know, I've always wore one. I feel naked without one. A few live streams back, I've been thinking about it. You know, a few live streams back, my ball cap came up. And, you know, a lot of people said they liked me better without the ball cap. I've been thinking about it, so I'm going to try it without the ball cap. You know, it's just one of the few changes that I want to make, which, you know, a lot of my videos, they get decent views and whatnot, but I don't get a whole lot of watch time on them. I don't get a whole lot of subscribers out of them. So I want to kind of change up the way I do my videos. Maybe just the fact of the ball cap, you know. I've had a lot of people comment on my videos in the past, you know. Redneck Tech, you know, Redneck Tech channel, this and that, you know, Country Tech channel. You know, which kind of don't go hand in hand. Even people that know me in personal life and real life, they find out I work on computers and I build computers, and it just about floors them. To look at me, to listen to me, you know, a lot of people don't think I know what I'm talking about. Maybe the ball cap in my videos is part of that. I don't know. I'm gonna try without the ball cap for a while, see what happens. Like I said, next week's video is without the ball cap. I did have my ball cap on while I was doing my build today. Switching my components over, but when I would do the intro and the outro, I'll probably leave it off. You know, I want to see how it goes. That's just one of the things that I want to try to change on the channel to see if I get better results out of. A lot of people's been, you know, quite a few people's talked about my thumbnails and whatnot, which I agree. I need to get better with my thumbnails. I'm trying something a little bit different. This past week's video, actually, if I'm not mistaken, pretty bad. I don't even know what thumbnails I'll make up. Yeah, the AK Racing Core Series chair unboxing and assembly. I'm trying a little bit different with the thumbnails. I'm still doing the orange and black. Sorry, I'm fond of the orange and black. I think the orange with the white outline with the black, it just makes it pop. I'm still going to do the orange and black. You know, it's kind of a staple of the channel. But I am kind of switching it up, try a little bit different thumbnails. I may even go back through some of my older videos and change the thumbnails for them. That's something else I'm going to try to do a little differently to try to improve the channel performance. And here lately, the channel's been going downhill, actually. You know, I haven't been getting the community really hasn't been growing a whole lot. And I'm hoping some of these little subtle changes that I do is going to make a difference in that. Which I may be right, I may be wrong. And in the last 7 days, in the last week, I've got 6 new subscribers. You know, well, it's usually 17 subscribers per week. Which it may be just the time of the year. It may be, you know, maybe a lot of stuff going on that's causing that. But, you know, I do listen to you guys. I do understand what you guys, where you guys are coming from. Also, another thing that I'm trying to do, you know, a lot of you seem to like the idea of me having background music in my videos. I'm kind of torn on that one. This past week's video's got background music in it. This video coming up's got background music in it. But my big thing about that background music, you know, I get the music from my Norv. He sent me a few clips of music to use in my videos. Or I have, I get them free from YouTube. You know, they supply you with so much free music that you can use in your videos. But if that one song, for some reason later on gets copyrighted, that's going to wipe out every video I put up using that song. So I'm kind of up in there about the audio stuff. Hey Dave, what's your favorite movie? Not too sure. Nathan, hey, what's up, Dave? Not a whole lot, buddy. Enjoying my cold beer here on this Saturday morning. My favorite movie? I don't get to watch movies. Well, I kind of aged myself on this one. But, I always liked The Roadhouse. With Patrick Swayze in it. I enjoyed that movie when it first came out. I probably wore out several DVDs of it. I really don't make time to watch movies. For me to sit down and watch a 2-hour movie, within 20-30 minutes, I'm asleep. Especially if the room's nice and dark with just the TV on. Yeah, I go to sleep too quick. But the last movie I really enjoyed and I could watch over and over again was Roadhouse. That'd be my favorite movie. And actually since then I haven't really sat down and took the time to actually watch many movies. What's your favorite beer, Dave? The one and only, buddy, the true Budweiser. Straight Budweiser, no light stuff. You know, I got a lot of time and money invested in my belly and I don't plan on losing it. So, yeah, Budweiser is my beer of choice. Nathan, I talked with you a couple of months ago about my build with a GT740, but some kind dude on Reddit sent a HD 7970 gigahertz edition. Nice. Yeah, I like my Budweiser. Like I said a few minutes ago, I don't know if you was in chat or watching or not, but I am a country boy. I'm kind of basic. I do enjoy my Budweiser. A GT740, but some kind dude on Reddit sent an HD 7970 gigahertz. However, since that 7970, especially if it was recently, a pretty good dude. For free. Yeah. 7970 was a pretty decent card back in the day. I'm not too sure on how well it performed in today's title, but if I'm not mistaken, the 7970 is a 2 gig card. Maybe a little bit lackluster on the VRAM. If I'm not mistaken, it's a 2 gig card. It was a special edition 6 gig. Oh, really? On a 7970? Yeah, that was definitely a special edition. Cause I didn't think they came with that kind of RAM power. I guess I was wrong. I guess the regular card actually came with 3 gigs of memory. I thought it was only like a 1 or 2 gig card. I was surprised, but they apparently exist. Huh. Yeah, 6 gig. Yeah, right there they are. Sapphire HD 7970 Toxic 6 gig review. Imagine that. Like I said, it even surprised me that the regular ones came with the 3 gigs, because I didn't think they had 3 gigs back in that era. I mean, hell, I was all the way back in 2012. That's a pretty old cord. Well, I hope it works for you. I'm off moving to another city soon, Dave. You suggest disassembling my PC entirely or just detaching the GTX card, for example? Depends on how you plan on boxing it up, Matthew. But normally if you're going to be moving a PC, I'd just take the GPU out of it. That's the main issue. Yeah, graphics card. Yeah, I'd take the graphics card out of it at the minimum. But rather than that, the GPU, depends on the heatsink as well. If you have a massive heatsink on it, you may want to remove it as well. You know, anything that's got any kind of big weight to it. The GPU definitely, like I said, if you got an aftermarket tall heatsink or something on it, maybe you want to remove that before transporting it. The rest of it, you know, as long as it's screwed down and secure inside the case, you should be pretty good with. But definitely the GPU, and if you have a big tall heatsink, oh, you have the stock. Yeah, I wouldn't bother with the stock heatsink. It'd be all right. But definitely the GPU, because that's a pretty heavy device and there ain't a whole lot holding it on. So I definitely do the GPU. The rest of it I wouldn't worry too much about. The 7970 works. Just booted this weekend. Nice. You got it for free? That's good. Good deal. Real good deal. Real good deal. Sure thing, GPU will bend for sure. Thanks. You're welcome. Yeah, well, it ain't really the bending of it that really gets me. It's the fact that, well, I've shipped quite a few computers, and without like an instant pack or something to fill in on space, there's just a lot of weight to be moving around. I've actually seen the PCI Express slots actually break off the motherboard from the GPU being shipped inside of a computer like that. Like I said, unless you want to put an instant pack or something in there, which is just simpler and more cost effective to just take the GPU out since you're going to be moving it yourself. But yeah, you know, I hate to see any damage done to your motherboard or anything because of the heavy GPU in it. But like I said, you know, the video I was working on this morning, my system's kind of sitting over here. I don't have the side panels put back on or nothing. I got to do all the wiring, the ARGB lighting and all that. I do have the fans hooked up, you know, which I got a pretty good start on it, but didn't quite have time to finish it this morning. Hey, what's going on? I'm glad you joined me this morning. I'm glad you could stop by. So yeah, that'll be not this week's video. This week's video will be the unboxing of the Corsair 4000D. Next week will be the build in it, which it'll kind of do like I did last time, you know, kind of a time lapse of the build process. As I didn't take the CPU out of the socket, I didn't do nothing with the RAM, the NVMe drive that I run. Never left the motherboard, nothing like that. So I ain't going to do a complete how-to build in this case. I got several of them on the channels. It's going pretty well, thanks. Hope it's going well with you too. Yeah, I'm having a pretty good weekend. Not too bad. And I got to build a computer this morning, or mostly build a computer this morning. Like I was just saying, you know, I got to do some finishing touches to it. But my question is, if you guys seen the Cougar MG 120-G build, did you like the way that I started the time lapse while I went down through the ports that was in the build, or would you rather see me do like I used to do, where I go to Newegg and break down the ports step by step, port by port, before I start the time lapse? I don't know, I kind of threw that one out there, just a little bit of a time saver, you know, that knocks a few minutes off the video time of it. But, you know, I like to have some input on that, see what you guys think. I'm still trying to find my own video style. I don't want to, you know, be an exact copycat of anybody else out there. You know, I want to do my videos my own way, my own style, but I also want people's going to be willing to watch my videos as well. I thought it was a little bit of a time saver by doing that. You know, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. Yeah, I don't know. I know someone commented that on the other build video, I forget which one it was. I think it was a $900 build that it didn't really care for just a text sheet with the components laid out on it. Matthew, I liked it, Dave. Oh, thank you. You know, I'm trying to cut down the videos. I don't know. Everybody seems to be kind of in a rush to get to the end of the video. You know, I'm trying to increase my watch time per view. You And it seems like that's where a lot of people drop off when I start running down through them components that makes up a build when I do a build video. So, you know, I'm trying some different stuff on that aspect of my videos. I thought it was a pretty good time saver. You know, kind of gives you the information of what's going into the build, which does, but doesn't really make a difference. But it does kind of give you an idea of what I'm working with. I kind of like the way I did that. I don't know, I thought it was a little bit creative. Not a whole lot of people that I've seen building computers actually do it that way. It ain't like I'm going to stand behind the table, which I have done in the past, you know, and point out and hold up each individual component. But it takes a lot of time, you know. If it ain't a how-to video, I don't see where it's going to really matter a whole lot. Which computer building hasn't changed a whole lot in the last few years anyways. It's pretty well the same. You know, the only thing that's really changed between Intel and AMD is the mounting solution for the CPU. But other than that, the rest of it's pretty well the same. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this video coming up on this build, which I think I'm going to do the same thing. Give it another test run, just like I did it. See how it happens. Maybe after I get a couple videos put out like that, maybe it'll do what it needs to do. You know, and get some extra feedback on it and whatnot. I don't know. Quite a few of you seem like you like the music in the videos. Some people don't. I know I can't please everybody. You know, it's just completely impossible. And I've tried different levels of music within my videos for the last few videos that I've done that I've put music into. But like I said, you know, the music thing's kind of a hit and miss with me. You know, most of them, Norv, he sent me a few soundtracks to use for background music. The other background music I use is provided by YouTube, which what YouTube provides you with, it can be copyrighted at any given time, which any video's got that music in it, I lose monetization on it. Which I really don't like pushing that envelope. So I'm not too sure on the music, but I don't know, it seems like a lot of people like the music, so maybe I'll put it, maybe not every video, but time to time you'll hear music, background music in my videos. I like to kind of get my own rhythm, my own way of doing videos. You know, I mean, you know, I know the best way to make it on YouTube is to follow everybody else, but that ain't me. You know, I'd rather find my own style. That's kind of how I came up with the name of the channel, you know, Dave's Techway. I'm Dave. It's a tech channel. It's my way. You know, I want to be different from everybody else. I kind of want to follow their footsteps, but I also want to put my own spin on it. Here's a nice song for you, Dave. Alright, send it to me. Let's hear it. If you got any ideas for soundtracks or anything that you like to see in my videos for background music, under the contact or the About Me page here on YouTube, there's a Gmail. It's Dave's Techway at Gmail. Be more than happy to email them to me, and I'll take a listen to them. James, how you doing? I'm doing pretty good. I hope weekends find you well, James. I think you can build a PC with the Cooler Master Masterbox TD500 mesh white case. I like the case because it looks good and has a good airflow at the same time. Cooler Master. Cooler Master makes pretty good cases. I'm not picky about the manufacturer cases. I've used Cooler Master in the past. Let's see what we got here. Cooler Master. Let's flip you guys over here and see what the case we're looking at here. Something like that. The Cooling Master Box TD500. Looks like we're looking at about $100 case. And there, I don't know what that one is, but that one's $239. Boy, that's an expensive one. You helped me fix my RAM problem. Thanks a lot. Well, you're welcome, James. I'm glad I could help you fix that RAM. Mesh white case. Well, maybe. There it is. On Newegg for $90. Amazon for $100 or Amazon or Newegg for $89. Is it the same case? TD500 white mesh airflow for $100. Mesh, oh, that's the Meshified C white. There it is, $100 case. Not a bad looking little case. For $100. Tell you what, I'll save that one just in case. But I'll show you guys a little secret that I do. That's the case you're talking about? Alright. This is kind of how, I probably shouldn't do this, but I do it this way. I go into TubeBuddy here, I go down to Keyboard Explorer, type that in there, like that, and I hit Explorer. I kind of see what they say. 44 out of 100, which is pretty good. Ain't a whole lot of search volume on it. Videos and search results only 900. Yeah, maybe that'd be worth doing a video on. I may take it up on that. Like I say, I don't have no loyalty to any brands, so I'm, and they give me a few videos on the channel for it. So you may see that case coming up on the channel here. Possibility. Talking about cases, Red Dragon Wheeljack. Do you know it? Is it any good? That I've never heard of. The Red Dragon Wheeljack. Never heard of it. Looks like I'm coming up with a bunch of keyboards and mices. I might be wrong. Red Dragon Wheeljack. Let's do it this way. Red Dragon. Wheeljack, Red Dragon. Red Dragon. That be the one you're talking about, bud? I didn't even know Red Dragon even made a case. The Red Dragon was a GPU. It's got temple glass side, front panel, cable management. It's got your pretty well basic layout on the inside. Yeah, that's its name. Do you stream on Twitch? I do have a Twitch channel, but I don't stream on it. I actually got it set up to do it a couple times a week, but I really just don't have time to stream to Twitch. I'd like to start streaming on Twitch. But a lot of my free time, all my free time basically goes into YouTube. You know, a lot of people ask me what games I play and whatnot. YouTube's my biggest game that I play. But yeah, you know, I'd like to get into doing some more streaming on Twitch. If you go to Twitch, it's under Dave's Techway. I don't even remember the schedule I got set up on the Twitch channel. And I got a schedule set up there like 3 days a week or something like that. But I really don't have time to be able to do it. And I like, what is it, Fridays from 7 to 9, Wednesdays from 7 to 9, and Mondays from 7 to 9. But I really don't do that. I gave you a follow. I appreciate the follow, which that was, I set that schedule up when I was playing Borderlands 3, which I don't even take time to play games really. But I like to find some time to be able to get into doing more Twitch streaming. But I haven't really had a chance to do a whole lot with it because YouTube does eat up a lot of my free time. I don't know how my fiance even puts up with me. Because I'm not working my full-time job. I'm back here in this little studio / office / spare bedroom of the house, working on videos. I don't even know how she even puts up with me. I don't know why she puts up with me, to tell you the truth, but I'm glad she does. Man, it looks like a pretty good case. Talking about this here Red Dragon. What is it? Wheel Dragon? Red Dragon Wheeljack. Looks like a pretty good case. That airflow looks, I don't know, it looks like there's some room between that tempered glass side panel and dust filter behind it. It might be an alright case. I mean, by looking at the inside pictures, it's your typical case. You know, you got, what is that, 120s in the front, so you should be able to put a 360 in the front at least. 120 in the back. I got a pretty good front I/O on it. A couple USBs, your headphone, out phone. There's another USB. It looks like a Type-C with a reset power button. That's probably some kind of RGB button, I'm assuming. I haven't heard a whole lot about this case. I haven't seen a whole lot about this case. I mean, it looks like it's a pretty typical layout. And actually, I don't even know if it's even available here in the U.S. or not. Let's see here. Let's see if we can find it on Newegg or Amazon on one of them here. No, I don't want that one. Portuguese. Translate to English. No, let's do Newegg. Let's see if Newegg's got it available. Oh, come on. Really? There we go. Nope, ain't on Newegg. Amazon, they got it on Amazon. Don't know a whole lot about it, bud. I'm sorry, but it ain't even available in the U.S. Don't know much about the case. I mean, it looks like a basic layout. Kind of that airflow in that may be a little bit different. Maybe a little questionable. It seems to be a favorite here over in Brazil. Looks like a pretty common case. Looks like just the airflow may be a little bit restricted by the tempered glass side panel, but it looks like it may have some airflow to it. for budget builds and stuff like that. I can see it being a good flipping case or a budget build, as long as it ain't cost too much for it. There's like quite a few tie down points, quite a few pass throughs. You got your 2 to 3.5 inch drive bay at the bottom. Yeah, I got a decent dust filter at the bottom for your PSU. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Let's hear James Caleb, $5. Your channel is great. Thanks again for such a good channel. Well, thank you. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the $5 donation. It means a lot to me when you guys do that. Really appreciate that. And cheers to you, James. Thank you for the donation to the channel. I'm glad you enjoy the channel and the videos that I put out. You guys keep doing that like that, you're going to get me drunk. But I'll definitely give you a big old swig and a chug of beer for that $5. Thank you. That's strange. I bought it. I thought it came from the U.S. Hey, dude. Just wanted to stop and say hi. Have a good day. Well, thank you. Appreciate you stopping in and saying hi to me. Hope you can stay for a while. You've been here for a while, one way or the other, whatever the situation may be. Yeah, well, apparently nobody's got this case available here in the U.S. I do a Google search for it here. Well, maybe if I take the web address out of it. And it takes me back to the same thing. Of course. Let's take this out of it. And we'll take .com out of it. And we'll take that out of it. See what it comes up with. Sharing results. Reddragon.com. Reddragon.com. Amazon. Maybe. Yeah, that's Amazon sells it, but that ain't from the U.S., bud. It does come with 4 ARGB fans or RGB fans, one or the other. Looks like a pretty good case for flipping. I don't know what this means. Let's see here. We'll put this down here to USD. Looks like there ain't many great matches for your results. What do you mean? How's that possible? It is from overseas. I mean, 6,636,60. I guess it'd be rubies, or rubies. Sounds a little expensive for a case to me, but I don't know exactly what the transfer rate is to that. But it looks like a pretty solid little case from what I can see of it. Really, kind of hard to make a decision on it without being from overseas. It's really kind of hard to really make a decision on it. I mean, it looks like your typical little case. You know, you got your basement shroud. It shows your name and the PSU. Got tempered glass side panel. Comes with four fans attached. And that really means nothing to me. Really couldn't tell you. But it looks like it's a pretty good little case. As long as the price is right on it. Alright guys, I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Mother Nature kind of called. Let me get readjusted here. Hey dude, I just wanted to stop by and say have a good day. Thanks, Dave. I want to get it sometime. Actually, if it was available in the U.S., I'd probably order one of them. But it ain't available in the U.S., and I'm not too big on, if I ordered one and got in to do some content on it, by then, you've already made up your mind, because it'd probably take me weeks and weeks to get one. And I don't even know what these are to even try to order one. Couldn't tell you. But yeah, it looks like a pretty good little case. But that Masterbox TD 500 mesh white case, I may pick one of them up and do some content on. Looks like you got pretty good. That looks like a really nice case too, actually. The problem with cases though, man, I know you guys can't see this, it ain't on camera, but I got a box over here for the MG120. I got the case over here for my 4000D Airflow. I got the Mestrified C Mini sitting over here beside me that don't even have a build in it. And they take up quite a bit of room to store these cases. And I don't know, the MG build, the Cougar build, it's still actually together. So I need to do some more videos on that, maybe rip it back apart. Maybe I'll try to sell some of these cases I got, or I don't know, maybe give them away or something. Which I've been kind of contemplating on doing that. Which I still have the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I've been doing a lot of thinking on that. I know I had 1,000 subscribers back in October. You guys that follow me and you guys that watch all my videos, you guys deserve a little bit of something. And I just don't know really how to make it international. Which I've thought about just ordering something off of Amazon and have it shipped to you, maybe if you win. I haven't got a whole lot of time into researching on how to make something like that happen. Maybe send you one of these cases I got sitting around here. I don't know, because they're $100 case, $50 case. Some on used market, $50 case, I may be able to get 30 out of it, maybe. The $100 case Mestrified C case, I may be able to get, it's a $100 case retail, maybe 50 bucks out of it, maybe. I don't know. But shipping this stuff international is a pretty big expense. And then if you guys live in, depending on what country you live in, if there's big tariffs and whatnot that you have to pay, it really ain't really feasible. I'm not too sure on. I still want to give something away, but I'm not too sure on how to make that happen. I haven't really had the time or put the time into researching how to do that. And that's one thing with cases, I get a couple videos out of them. I get the unboxing and overview of them done. Yeah, it is true. On vacation, I get a couple videos out of them. Which, you guys give me recommendations for videos and whatnot. I like to give you what you want, Sometimes the fees are more than the product. Yeah, exactly. And that's part of my dilemma with trying to give something away. Or trying to do a giveaway. If I go through Amazon or something and have it shipped to you as a gift, Amazon kind of picks some of that up. Or, they're such a big company that's worldwide that, they have products in just about any country you could be in. Which, I don't know. But, I'm still trying to figure out how to do that. I still want to do something for the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I never thought the channel would hit 1,000 subscribers. But there is that. The cases do take up quite a bit of storage, which I do have some extra storage, but there's no heat in it. There's no power in it. You know, it's just an old shed sitting on the property, which it ain't gonna hurt a case too much. But if it's got tempered glass to it or something, if it gets too cold, it may shatter. Which, being tempered, it shouldn't, but it may happen. You know, so kind of storing them and keeping them out of my way is kind of a bad thing with the way like I said, you know, I work out of a spare bedroom in my home. Well, I got limited space, and I got stuff, you know, where I do computer repair and whatnot. I even more limited my space that I have for storage and whatnot. But anyways, it's kind of an ongoing thing. You know, cases, they do seem to do pretty good for the channel, depending on the case itself. But yeah, you know, if you guys have any ideas for videos or anything you'd like to see me cover, you know, throw it over there in chat or drop it down in the comments section if you're watching the replay of this, and let me know. You know, I try to do what you guys want to see. I've done quite a few videos on stuff that people in the community's requested, like Blueberry Pie. He wanted the, what was it, the ASRock B450M Pro 4 motherboard. I did an unboxing overview of it. I did the BIOS update on that one so far. You know, I want to do some overclocking on it, which it's still in the Cougar MG120 case. On the 5600 XT video, someone said they'd like to see CSGO. With a system like that, which it was a different motherboard, but everything else is basically the same. It says an NVMe drive compared to an SSD, 2.5-inch SSD. But a system like that with something like CSGO, it'd be more of a streaming process. I think it's more set up for streaming CSGO than just playing CSGO. So I thought maybe doing a stream of CSGO sometime on the channel, just to see how that system will handle it. Now my 2070 Super with the 3950X, it could stream CSGO all day long, probably at 1440p or possibly 4K, and give you a decent frame rate out of it. At 5600 XT, I've been kind of running that through my head as a video idea, maybe doing a stream on the channel, the CSGO, using that system instead of my main system, which I don't even have Windows I don't even have Windows installed on that system yet. But that's just the thought process, something I've been thinking about doing, because someone did request CSGO on the 5600 XT benchmarking video. So maybe I'll get something like that done here. Of course, that'll be one of the impromptu live streams, most likely, unless I get it planned out. And let you know on a live stream on a Saturday that I'm going to do it. Said day at said time or something. You know, something like that. Matthew, I personally enjoy budget builds with older hardware, like the GTX 480. For example, but yeah, that's something I personally like. Yeah, but again, you're looking at some of the budget builds with some of the older hardware, and right now, even the older hardware, if you can find it on eBay or whatever, the prices are so flexible right now. Everything is inflated. You know, it's like that RX 580 8 gig I got back there. I could probably sell it for more than what I bought it for when I bought it new on the used market. Trying to put a budget build together. I've been looking. Trust me, I've been looking. I've been looking at some older hardware and whatnot, because I thought maybe that, you know, because of the crypto mining, they wouldn't be going after the older graphics cards and this and that. But right now, just computer components are so hard to find that, like I said earlier, you know, even people that's got the older equipment, they want more than top dollar out of it. So it's kind of even hard to even put a budget build together with a 4700K with a 460 or something, or you know, it's just with a GTX 480. It's just kind of hard to justify the price of it right now. So, you know, and, you know, I think some of the older hardware, like the GTX 480, it's something that a lot of people are still running. I think it'd be relative to how it played today's games, but, you know, getting my hands on it, it's kind of hard to do. It's kind of hard to justify the price. But yeah, I mean, it's something that I've been looking at. I've been kicking around, but it's just the price is so screwed up on everything right now. Even 500 watt power supply I built in that Cougar build was the same one I put in the Messified C build. I paid $100 for that power supply. That power supply should only be $50, $60 power supply. So, you know, of course, I kind of bought it when the PSU prices was outrageous. Stocks are low on new hardware, and older ones people are holding on to. Yeah, they are. And I'm the same way. I got the RX 580 back there. I got the 2400G back there. I got, you know, the Gigabyte motherboard. I got the Asus motherboard. I got the ASRock motherboard. You know, I want to do more content on them because I know right now I can't find more components to build with. It's kind of why I'm kind of hoarding or holding on to what I've got right now. You know, I could put a couple of different builds together and sell them. You know, I got the cases, I got the PSUs, I got the hard drives, I got the motherboards, I got the GPUs. But, you know, being a small channel and everything coming out of pocket and nothing is available to buy, you know, where's my next content gonna come from if I sell the systems that I build? I sold a $600 budget gaming system that I built. I kind of kicking myself in the ass for that one. I'm wishing I would have held on to it, you know, because I can't get a 1650 for that price right now. I can't get the 3100 right now. I can't get the, you know, the Gigabyte B550 motherboard I put in that build. I can get it, but it's a little bit more expensive now than what I paid for that one. So I'm kind of kicking myself in the rump for selling that system. But I did do all right on that sale, you know. Like I said, you know, a guy I work with, he bought it for his 12-year-old boy, which it's kind of an ideal spot for a $600 gaming PC to be sold to. You know what I mean? You know, the guy's very happy with it. His son's very happy with it. But just because of the components that was in that one and the way the components are so hard to come up with, I'm kind of kicking myself in the rump for selling it. You know, and I like to do some older hardware and whatnot, but the prices is just, I don't know, to me it's kind of hard to justify the prices. Maybe it's just me, but, you know, and even, you know, like, I think it was MT said earlier about flipping PCs right now. You know, earlier in chat, you know, flipping a PC right now for a profit is almost impossible to do because you're paying so much for the price for the ports, and by today's standards, the used ports, the older ports, ain't really worth what people's asking for them. You know, people's holding on to them. So yeah, it's kind of a balancing act. Even trying to go after some of the older components. But we'll have to wait and see how it all plays out, you know. But thanks for the case opinions. I appreciate that. Maybe I'll get in look into that Cooler Master case. The wheel jack, I really can't do much with it because it ain't in the U.S. It's a overseas type thing, you know. And as far as the CSGO, live stream goes, you know, I'll try to give you guys as much notice on it. You know, I'll try not to surprise you on it. But if you want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, you'll definitely see it come up within a couple hours of me going live with it. I'll try to plan it out to where I can pronounce it or talk more about it on a live stream on a Saturday morning before I actually do it. It's true, I follow buying and sell groups online and their prices, and even though the hardware was bought pre-2020. Yeah, you know, it's like you mentioned earlier, Matthew, you know, a lot of people, they, you know, what they do have, they don't want to let go of. And there's good reasons for that. You know, the demand's so high. And, you know, like I mentioned earlier, you know, even Newegg, Amazon, you know, you go back and look at the price history, they're raising prices on what they've got coming in just because they can. You know, to me, it's kind of a price gouging tactic. But again, if you want the components, and apparently they're selling them because you go back 2 days later, look at the same components, they're no longer in stock, so they're selling them even at inflated prices. So yeah, it's definitely it's definitely a strange time in the PC components. I'm hoping I'd like to see the second part of this year with the prices coming back down and availability of ports coming back up, which I've mentioned before. But with the way it's looking, I don't see it happening. This pandemic that we're all living in right now has kind of got everything pretty messed up. You know, a lot of warehouse workers that build these components and whatnot's out, and you know, it's got everything screwed up. Then you got the crypto miners, you know, they're eating up the GPUs as fast as they can get them, on top of them being a new hot product. And then you got the scalpers going after them. It's definitely a strange time. It's a hard time to do a computer build or even recommend upgrading a computer. You know, right now, you know, if your computer is doing what it needs to do, wait. You know, okay, you gotta cut back how good the game looks while you play the game. You know. But wait, you know, don't pay the inflated prices for these components. It's more or less a want over a need. You know, I can understand if you need something, but if you're looking just to upgrade because you want the latest and the greatest, now ain't the time to be buying. You know, unless you're a multi-millionaire, and of course, if you're that, you know, you kind of pay whatever you buy whatever you want whenever you want it. But, you know, as long as your system's doing what it needs to do and you don't have to replace anything, right now is a bad time to suggest building a computer or upgrading a computer. You know, it was like that case I bought, that 4000D, Corsair 4000D. I was watching a couple of videos on that to get some ideas on how to do my video on it. And when it was released for $80. I paid $95 for that case. And that's a computer case, and it's went up by $15 in the last 6 months. Why? Because the supply is low and the demand is high on them. You know, I paid an extra $15 over what I should have for that case. But, you know, at the time when I bought it, I didn't realize that. You know, I didn't realize that it was, you know, I figured it was a $100 case from what I was seen on it. But by going back and looking at the people that got it pre-release, you know, it should have been selling for $80 here in the U.S. compared to $95 that I paid for mine. But, you know, it just kind of shows you, you know, prices on stuff's going up. even above what they should be, just because the demand's so high. If there's any other questions, comments, or concerns, throw them over there in chat. If not, throw them in chat. I'll cover them next week on next week's show. Which I don't think I did after I got done with the comments and questions, Q&A at the beginning. I want to thank you all for the support. We had $15 come in super chat this week, and I really appreciate that. Thank you for the direct support to me. It means a lot to me. You know, it's I got 2 super chats this week and got 1 last week. You know, it's 3 super chats I've got since I've been doing the live stream. It's kind of cool to watch you guys support me directly like that. Appreciate that. I plan on waiting till at around 2022-23. I usually play older, less demanding games anyways. Yeah, I mean, as long as you're playing less demanding titles, you don't want to play Techway titles that's been released in the last couple of years, the older hardware is going to hold up. You know, I get questions from time to time. You know, I want to play Fortnite, I want to play CS:GO, I want to play this. I want the less demanding titles. As long as your system's able to run them and you're happy, why upgrade? You know, and right now is a very bad time to be trying to upgrade a computer. He taught me how to overclock my CPU in a simple and easy way. Well, thank you, Joshua. I'm glad I was able to help you overclock that CPU. Cheers to you. Thank you for stopping in this weekend with me. But yeah, you know, if you're playing less demanding titles, that older hardware is going to hold up. And right now, it's hard to recommend to upgrade anything, unless it ain't playing the titles. Unless it ain't, you know, okay, you may have to cut down from very high down to high settings. You know, but is it worth paying 3 to 4 times the price for the components that you need to upgrade? To me, it ain't worth the money. And computer components, you know, okay, the 3070 is great, the 3080 is great, the 3090 is great. But you know, by next year when the new generation comes out, they're gonna be about worthless. So, you know, I mean, technology moves that fast. It's so fast paced that it's, I don't know, you know, these guys just gotta stay on top of the bleeding edge and gotta have the newest all the time and all this. My hats is off to you. Which I'm not. I'm still rocking the 2070 Super, which I'd have been alright with the RX 580, but I needed more content for the YouTube channel. You know, I went from the 2700 up to the 3950X. That was because I got into 4K video editing. The 3700 could handle it, or the 2700 can handle the video editing. But I went to 3950X to save time on the video editing. You know, a lot of my upgrades, the case, I was fine with the Focus G case. I went up to this new case for content for the channel. You know, I kind of upgrade now due to the channel needs, and to have new content for the channel. That's hardly a sacrifice for me. Medium to high, full HD is good for me. Yeah, and a lot of people would be happy with medium settings. A lot of people can't tell the difference between medium and high settings. I mean, if you do a blind test, most people can't tell the difference between medium and high. You know, but it's all, most people, it's about the numbers, you know. I don't know, I'm not in that mindset. My system now is turning into a pretty rig or a beauty rig. But, you know, it's because my performance is up there where I need it to be. I got the 2070 Super for my gaming and whatnot, which I really don't need. I got the 3950X, which I needed for my 4K video editing. Matthew, true. Yeah, it is true. Now my performance is up there where I need it, where I want it to be. And to have content for the channel, you know, it's becoming a beauty thing. You know, if you watched any of my older videos, you know, I've always been, you know, performance. Most of my builds has been performance based, not actual the way it looks, you know. But nowadays, that's what everybody wants. You know, everybody wants the tempered glass side panel. Everybody wants the RGB or ARGB. Everybody wants the fancy blingness of them. And I never thought I'd ever go that way with my personal rig. But you know, like the adding of the water cooler into my system, that was because I was planning on going to the 3950X. I was going to the 3950X for the 4K video editing. You know, a lot of the upgrades I've done to my computer in the last 6 months to a year is because of my YouTube channel. You know, that 2700 would have done me fine. The RX 580 mixed with the 2700 would have been fine for me on a day-to-day basis. But because of video editing and whatnot, you know, I needed to step it up a little bit. The case, I bought the case to do an unboxing and build in. So now I'm going with a mostly white build for my personal rig. Which that's another question I got. It ain't a complete white build. You know, my fence is white. My case is white. My motherboard's got a lot of white accents on it. I got the white extension cables for the build. But I still have a lot of black in it. You know, I got the black AIO. I got the black graphics card. I got the black RAM in it. And everybody likes to name their computers. So that's something I'd like to see what y'all want to think about. What kind of name should I give my computer? I've never named a computer. I wouldn't even know where to start. I don't know. I mean, it's mostly white with a little bit of black. I just think it's spot. I don't know, like a Dalmatian, you know, spot. I don't know. But if you got any questions, if you got any ideas on what I should name my computer, drop them over there in chat or down in the comments below. I've never named a computer before. I'm not too sure on how to name a computer, but it is a workhorse. It is, you know, it's very powerful. It's, you know, it's mainly white with a little bit of black accents. You know, like I said, my AIO is black, my graphics card is black, my RAM's black, my frames is outlined in black. But I'm not too sure on what to name it. You know. And like I said, you know, it's getting up to be a beauty build now. It ain't just all about performance. Of course, they'll be going up to 3070 or 3080 once I can get my hands on one. But, and again, that'll be for YouTube. That'll be content for the YouTube channel. Because that 2070 Super does plenty good for what I do with the system. But, I'd like to have your guys' feedback on that. You know, kind of come up with a name for the build. I think it's spot or maybe leopard. You know, because leopards is known to be white with black spots. I don't know. Kind of kicking it around. It does have a few gray accents on the case itself, with even fewer yellow accents to it. But I guess you have to wait till the unboxing and overview of the case and the building of the case to actually see it, I guess. And this is, unless you want to look it up, I mean, it's the Corsair 4000D airflow case. You like get an idea of what the case is going to look like. I don't know what I got recorded on this thing, if I've got any footage of what it would actually look like, even close to being done. I think I was working on cable management in that one. This is going to be a spoiler alert for you guys for the upcoming video. Matthew, hey Dave, I've got to head out. Have a good weekend. I'll watch more next time around. Well, thank you, Matthew, for Appreciate the support. I'm glad you come in and hang out with me today. Thank you. Appreciate that. Hope you have a good weekend yourself, bud. Let's see here. I don't think I have any pictures of the front of this thing. That's the power supply install. That ain't gonna give you an idea of what it looks like. This here, me mainly hooking up the fans, a hard drive, the power cable just to get ready for the live stream today. And then ain't gonna have no front facing pictures of it. Installing the front fan, top fans. Let's see here. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. Quit yelling at me. I hear you over there. I know you're yelling at me under your breath. Looks like I still got 3 viewers with me, so I'm doing pretty good. We got 4 connected viewers, but I'm one of them 4, so I don't count. Let's see here. What am I doing? Putting the fan in the back. Let's see here. There's kind of a picture of the front of it. Oh, maybe. That's fan install. That's fan install. Why did I record the fan install 3 times? There we go. Alright guys, let me flip you over here. I'll give you an idea of what the front of it looks like. There's somewhat of what the front's going to look like. Well, if I get my arm out of the way. Not too sure on what that is. I'm messing with them wires. Like I said, it ain't complete. It is functional because I'm streaming off of it. There we go. I got a good bit yet to go through yet, but it's kind of how it's going to turn out. You got the black GPU, the black Elgato. Of course, the radiator's black, the hose is black. You got black G-skilled RAM. The fans is white. You got a lot of white accents on the motherboard. You have the white access cables that I've added, extension cables, extensions. For the GPU, the CPU, and the 24-pin. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. You know, I'm looking to come up with some kind of little catchy name for this thing. Like I said, you know, most of the time I do performance builds. This is definitely kind of out of my range. I've never used extension cables before. But I definitely believe that it is with some type of name to it. Raphael, should I pair a Ryzen 5 5600X with a 1650 Super? 5600X. Neat rig over there. Cheers. Cheers, NK. I'm glad you could join me. Raphael, should I pair a Ryzen 5 5600 with a 1650 Super? Cheers to you guys. Thank you, NK. I think it is turning into a pretty sweet looking, rig. Ryzen 5 5600 with 1650 Super. If that's budget, if your budget allows that, yes. The 5600 XT is the latest. It is a 6-core, 12-thread processor, which means your 1650 Super is going to be your bottleneck, which is going to be very easily to upgrade as more money comes available. If you have the money available, I would upgrade the 1650 Super off the bat. You know, if you overbuy on your CPU, you can always upgrade your GPU to match it. Yeah, I mean, you know, it gives you growth. Even the 1650 Super, it runs good on a quad-core processor. You know, I had it on that 3100G, and it wasn't pegging the 3100, let alone the 5600X. And the GPU, they're very easy to swap out compared to having to swap out your CPU. And it depends on what you're doing with the system. You know, like I said, 6-core, 12-thread processor. You know, so you should be good as far as your processor power goes, to where you could upgrade that GPU to match it in the future when more money comes available. You know, I know there's a lot of people that think otherwise or whatnot, and that's fine. I mean, it happens. But you're looking at 6-core, 12 threads, you can put up to, I mean, even a 3070 would go good with that processor. And the way I do my recommendations on ports, you know, I look at what's the easiest to change out to be able to upgrade your rig, and that'd definitely give you a good upgrade path. You know, CPU could definitely handle a lot more powerful GPU. I was originally going to buy a 3060 Ti, but it wasn't available, so I bought that. As soon as the market gets better, I will upgrade. Yeah, but you always like the buts. But yeah, I mean, that's 1650 Super, depending on the titles you play and what kind of resolution you want to run at. I'll do for right now. And it sounds like it's just a delay until the 3060 comes available to you, or the 3060 Ti comes available to you. So yeah, you'll be fine with that. And that 5600X will run that 3060 Ti just fine for you. I'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Mother Nature called again. Hey Sebastian, he's in the house. Glad you finally caught up with me, buddy. My friend bought a Hyper 212 RGB CPU cooler and plugged it into my motherboard, the Gigabyte B550 DS3H, but I don't know how to change the RGB color now. Even when I go into the BIOS, I can't find the way. NK, there is still many games that like the high single core, and I think the 5600X can deliver that. Yeah, the 5600, if you're looking at the IPC of the 5600, you can't go wrong with it. Sebastian, you bought the Hyper 212 RGB. Check in the manual for that. Well, no. Actually, the Hyper 212 RGB should connect through the RGB of the motherboard. You got the Gigabyte B550. Oh, what's the name of the Gigabyte software for the RGB? What's the name of that? What do they call it? What do they call it? Chipset, lands, utilities. RGB Fusion, that's the name of it. If you download the RGB Fusion, it should give you the option to be able to change the color of that Hyper 212. That is controlled by the motherboard, but every motherboard has their own RGB or ARGB controller software. And Gigabyte, I actually looked it up here. Right there, the B550 DS3H, that's down, RGB Fusion should be what you need to control the RGB lighting. And that also should control any of the RGB or ARGB that you have on the motherboard that's connected through the motherboard. You should be able to, that should control all the RGB, ARGB in the system. Because if I'm not mistaken, that motherboard does have both ARGB and RGB. Like I said, I've sold that motherboard, so I didn't get to play very much with it. System fans, yeah, it does have the ARGB and the RGB both to it. So that one piece of software should handle, should be able to change the fan for you on that. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Been watching you. Been watching you from York, PA. Hey, you're right over the hillside from me. A couple mountains across there. Not too bad. Maxter 1878. Evening, Dave. Hope you're good, mate. I am. I'm doing very well on this Saturday. The stream's going well. We've got quite a few viewers. It's been pretty active this week, which I like to see. I'm glad y'all's hanging out with me. I'm glad you caught me this week. Sorry you missed me the last time I was live, Maxter. I know you was working. Last week I ended up having to cancel. I canceled because I was building a computer for a customer that was, I went to his house to build it, and it took me a lot longer to build it than what I was expecting. So yeah, which, you know, Maxter, you've been around for quite a while. You know, I don't cancel very often, but I expected 4 to 5 hours for that build. It ended up taking about 8 hours for that build. Good to see chat so active. Yeah, it's been pretty active today. I've actually had a few donations to the channel. So I really appreciate the direct support from you guys. Really means a lot from me. Sebastian and Maxter and you guys just coming in, if you want to rewind a little bit, there's quite a few questions I have about the channel and the stuff that's coming up. I like to have some input on. You guys are pretty active members of the community, I like to have your input on it. Who we got here? By Jaws, I guess we pronounce that. Sorry about butchering your name. Hello, sir. I like your videos, and it's very informative. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I try to do my videos a little bit slower paced and make them of. I try to keep them short, but I try to make sure I get all the main points in my videos as well. But I appreciate the support. Appreciate you watching the videos. I hope you get some useful information out of them. But some of the stuff I've talked about before, I'm trying to come up with a name for my PC. I started to build on it this morning. I'm trying to come up with a name for it, something like that. Maxter 1878, yeah, first time you've canceled since I've been following. So what are the news, Dave? The news, yeah, Maxter, I don't cancel very often. I think it's only the third time I've canceled in the 60-some episodes that I've done. It's like the third time I've done it, I've canceled. I hate to cancel, I put it out there that I'm going to be live and I plan on following through with what I say. But I had a job come up building a gaming computer for somebody that took longer than expected, so I had to cancel it. I wasn't going to do the live stream from his place. So yeah, I had to cancel last week. The news, Sebastian, I got the 4000D I'm putting my system into, which I still got cable management to do. I still got to hook up all the RGBs on it. Like I said earlier, you can see the mess behind me actually on both sides. I mean, the tripod's still set up, wires all over the place, screws laying all over the place. But I'm trying to think of a name for my computer. It's mainly white with black accents. Trying to think of a name of it. Also, still trying to figure out about the music, the background music in my videos, if I should or shouldn't do that. My ball cap, that came up a while back, about me wearing a ball cap. I've been kind of playing around with not wearing a ball cap. This video coming up this week, I don't have my ball cap on. Today I don't have my ball cap on. Maybe it means a lot to some people. Some people may not mean so much too. But I do take what everybody says into consideration, and I realize that I'll be able to make something out of this YouTube thing. I need to listen to what my followers say. I feel naked, which my ball cap's just a hand reach away. I do have my ball cap, but I feel naked without it. But if that's what the people want to see, and my audience retention time on my videos ain't very low, which I mentioned earlier, I know a lot of people look at me and, they don't think that I know much about tech, or I don't know what I'm talking about. I've had comments come through on the channel, which has been deleted shortly after the comment was made, about it being a redneck or a country themed tech channel, and I am what I am. I am country, I was raised on a personal farm, I am country, but I also know my tech. Is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I don't know, but to me it's something different than what most people want. And I think that's why my video retention is only 1 to 2 minutes long on most of my videos, most of my clicks. So, you know, I'm trying to diversify a little bit to be able to make this YouTube thing a thing. You know, hell yeah, listening to some country in the back wouldn't be bad. Chris Stapleton. Yeah, I usually go, yeah, I cut a lot of it out of the videos and whatnot. And I try not to stick to one genre or one type of music in my background music. But as far as the music goes, there's quite a few caveats to that. You know, I've got a lot of people saying they like the music. Some people say they don't like the music. And I know there's no way I'm gonna please everybody. I know this. But still on the same frame, you know, I like to get a bigger picture of what people want. And I know if I start playing country music in the background and whatnot, you know, yeah, country music has a big following to it, but I don't want to isolate myself just at the country crowd. You know, me personally, I like the 70s and 80s rock, you know, but I know not everybody's into that either. But the other thing that comes along with the music is if I use the same soundtrack in multiple videos, and say 2-3 years down the road, that track or that music sound gets hit with, you know, someone buying the rights to it, every video's got that music in it, I lose my demonetization. You know, I can't make no money on it at that point. At that point, whoever has the rights to that soundtrack gets all my revenue. That's kind of my big thing with putting the music in the background. You know, I got Norv. He sent me a few soundtracks. I've gave him credit for it in the videos that I've used it. But it ain't quite the beat that I'm looking for. You know, being a tech channel, I need something a little bit more upbeat. His is mainly guitar sounds. I need something a little bit more upbeat for the channel. So, you know, if you've seen any of my videos, you know, a lot of the soundtrack is the same. That's been, over the years, it's all been the same soundtrack. But even going through YouTube free music, they offer you to creators to use at any time. Them songs would be copyrighted. So it's kind of hard to understand that too. But it seems like more people want the music than the people that don't want the music. So like this week's video coming up, it's going to have music background to it. Last week's had music background to it. You know, if that's what the people want, that's what the community wants, I want to do my best to be able to do that. You know, but I don't want to keep using the same soundtrack either. You know, I want to diversify a little bit. I want to, you know, if you guys go underneath the About Me page, there's an email address to contact me directly. Contact me directly and let me know what you want to hear. Leave it in the comments section below. You know, if you make music, you know, drop it to me in an email. I prefer not to have that put in the comments, but you can directly email it to me and I'll take a listen to it. You know, the music thing's kind of a touchy thing, but I know a lot of you like the music in the background, so I'm trying to oblige that. You know, the ball cap thing, it came up a few Saturdays ago about the ball cap, and someone asked me why I wear the ball cap. And like I said, it's always within the arm's reach for me. I feel naked without it. I was raised on a personal farm. Ball caps it was part of life. It helped keep the sun out of your eyes while you're out in that field working all day long. It just kind of became part of who I am. And without it, I feel naked. But a lot of you within the community seem to like me without the ball cap. So I'm trying to go without the ball cap. And it goes back to my audience retention time. You're looking at 1 to 2 minutes, and I'm thinking that ball cap may have something to do with it. Maybe the way I talk, maybe my attitude. I don't know. A lot of people look at my videos. Within the first few seconds, people make a decision if they're going to subscribe or not. Maybe if I don't look so much like a redneck or so much country, maybe the community grew a little bit faster. I don't know. I don't want to go too far from who I am, though, because I am who I am. I mentioned it earlier in the live stream. That's how I came up with the name for the channel. Dave's Techway. I am Dave. That's my name. It is a tech channel, and it is my way. But I am willing to variance a little bit. I will sway one way or the other to get this going, to keep it going. Which, it's kind of hard to, and like I said, I know I ain't gonna please everybody, but, I want to try to keep the community happy. Yeah. Well, I want to keep the community happy. I want to keep my guys going. I want to give you guys what you expect out of me. Marcus Angelio, thank you so much, buddy. Canada, $5. Hi, just want to say that you are awesome. You're powerful and can take on any challenge it comes to your way. Yeah, you're right. I am pretty hard-headed. I am pretty stubborn, which I know ain't what you meant by that comment, by the way. I want to thank you for the donation. Appreciate the direct support. I try to do my videos where it's more understandable for the novice or the newbies and the in the computer community. As far as taking on any challenge, I'm too stubborn to give up. I'm too set in my ways. But there is some things I'm willing to change on if it's going to help me do better here on YouTube. Hint the hat. Like I said, I feel naked without it. But, if it's going to help the channel, it's going to help the community, then be it. The way I talk, ain't much I can do about that. I am the way I am. But as far as the music stuff goes in the background and whatnot, I do have some control over that. And, I like to have y'all's opinion. If you have a certain type of music or whatever you like to hear in the background music of the videos, let me know. And like I said, I know I ain't gonna please everybody, but I can hopefully please the majority of you and help you guys keep coming back. But yeah, that's some of the questions I had for this week. I want some input. Well, was the last build I put up, the MG120-G build? I started the lapse of the build process while I was going through the components that made up the system. And that's something that I like to have feedback on. Is that something you guys would like to see continued? And what kind of brings that up was I had a question or comment on a video when I did the $900 all AMD gaming PC build. They didn't like the fact that it was just a text document on a screen to go down through the components. But still yet, the audio retention on YouTube is showing me the guys ain't even getting, or they're bypassing, or they're shutting off when I start going through Newegg to break down the components. That's why I kind of figured I'd start the time lapse of the build process while I go through the parts of the process. And it kind of give you an idea of what's going on or what parts I'm using in the system while you're watching me build the system. You know, I thought that was a good, decent compromise to that. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I've said it before, you know. I know the best way to build on YouTube or to grow on YouTube is to follow what everybody else has done. But still yet, I want to follow my own pattern as well. You know, I'm still trying to figure out my own way of doing it. And you guys in the community is what makes the channel. So, you know, what you guys want to see or how you guys want to see it makes a difference to me. I'm just one man. And, you know, the community's up to over 1,200 people now. Actually, I don't even know what we are up to. The community's up over 1,200 people. And I said earlier, you know, it's taken kind of a hit here over the last couple of weeks. 1,237 community members. But, you know, I want to try to please you guys as much as I can, give you the content that I think you want to see, or how the content that you would be willing to watch. I know a lot of you guys, especially here, are hanging out with me today. You know, you guys are very big supporters. You know, you guys watch the videos I put out, regardless if it's something that's interesting or not, but you watch the videos. And I appreciate that. I want to thank you all for the support. But just a few thoughts to put in your mind. If you want to, throw it in chat. If not, throw it in the comments. If not, if you go to the About Me page or an email, you can directly email me. Which is simple. It's davestechway@gmail. That's the contact info for me. You know, let me know what you think about the music. If you make music, you know, drop me some lines of music that you make. What kind of music you'd like to hear in the background. You know, if you got some kind of name for my PC that you'd like to see. If you go back a few minutes now, I guess, you know, you can see actually a picture of the what it's going to look like when it's finished. Going to give you an idea of what to name it. And if you want, you know, it's going to be mostly white with some black accents, you know. So there's that. You know, the ball cap situation. I'm naked as can be right now as far as I'm concerned. I might be sitting there without a t-shirt or pants or underwear on. Let me know what you think about that. You know, I'm starting to take this YouTube thing a little bit more serious. Trying to figure out the best way to do all this YouTube stuff. If you guys have any other questions, comments, or concerns, throw them over there in chat. But I've been going now for a couple hours. I think that's enough rambling for one day. Been going for about 2.5 hours, it looks like, or something like that. Yeah, about 2.5 hours I've been going for here. I want to thank y'all for watching the videos. Thank you for the comments, concerns, questions that's been thrown in chat. I want to thank the community for watching the videos. I know you guys watch them because you like my content, even though it don't really pertain to you. But you guys still watch the videos. Appreciate that. I want to thank you. The live chats we've got today. Chat revenue right now is up to $18.91, which is pretty good. I appreciate it. I really thank you guys a lot. But if you guys got any kind of video ideas or whatnot, be more than welcome to hear them. Throw them in the comments, throw them over there in the live chat. Keep working hard, Dave. I enjoy the stream. I plan on it, buddy. I plan on working. I don't plan on giving up. I'm just trying to make it a little bit more thumbs. Just trying to make it a little bit more friendly for what you guys expect, and maybe draw more members into the community. Up, smiley face. Yep, my smiley face is up. Sorry guys, that's the best smile you get out of me. But that's just a little bit of news that's going on with the channel and whatnot. Some of the questions I have for the community. With all that being said, guys, I think I'm going to get out of here for this weekend. I want to thank y'all for joining me this week and coming out and hanging out with me. If you like this kind of content, make sure you give me a thumbs up. If not, there's a thumbs down. There's also a comment section below. I go through them every weekend here on my live show, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Saturday morning, usually. More than none. Also, if you'd be interested, I'm on Instagram or Twitter. I don't kill your inbox. I do put up photos of new stuff I got coming in, give you an idea of what's coming up on the channel. Or if there's any changes to my live stream, if I got canceled or change the time or date of it, that's also where you get that information. But with all that being said, you all have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video or live stream.